think you gon' get away with it. Not up in here!
Not up in here!
All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment, of course, not up in here. Why? Because we tell the truth. We speak it like it is. Good or bad, love it or leave it. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about the roster moves that the Giants made. This is a rare Saturday show. We have the big stream, of course, on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special guests coming by, stopping in, saying hello. Giants are making some roster moves. They're getting a little bit closer to that being under the cap. One of the big moves they made today, it wasn't really a big move. They basically got rid of Caden Smith. I'm 24-year-old. Played in 9 games in 2021 before he got placed on the injury reserve with a knee injury. Of course, he came over. He was cut by the 49ers. He was selected at the 6th round out of Sanford. I guess that was back in 19. As a rookie with the G-Men, he caught 31 passes for 268, 3 touchdowns. You know what? I've said it before. He's a third tight end at best. He's good at getting you 8 yards and nothing else. There's no yak. Adequate blocker at best. Slow. The next year, he was 21 passes for 145 yards. And then the next 24, and that, well, let's see, he basically became expendable because he was also making $2.54 million. And all that money now is freed up for the Giants. There's no dead cap space, I believe, with that. He was one of those guys that, again, not only did the organization over-evaluate his talent, the fan base did. From day one, if you watched him even in his rookie season, you saw how slow he was. He's I've said it before, the Giants had a running back in the early 80s, late 70s, Billy Taylor. Call him 2-yard Taylor, because that's what he got you. And Caden Smith was the same thing. Not a guy worth $2.5 million. The Giants also have restructured the deal. Well, before we get to the Blake Martinez, we've also signed the venerable David Sills, Victor Cruz 14.0. One day he might see he did see the field and he dropped the ball. I don't understand that signing, but you know what? Maybe at some point in time, he's going to turn around and be something special.
Think you gon' get away with it. Not up in here!
Not up in here!
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening up in here. Now we get into Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez has restructured his deal with the G-Men. He had that big season in 2020 when he came over a free agent with the Packers, 151 tackles, 65 of those were assists, 3 sacks, an interception. He was playing well in 2021 with his 23 combined tackles when he, tore his knee. I think it's a good signing. It's again, it depends on what the deal is. Because we don't know exactly what the deal is. We don't know the complete numbers. It's got to be probably like a Shep deal. Sterling Shepard's probably coming back on a 6-year veteran minimum deal. And he's like Shep. He's coming off an injury. There's not going to be much of a market for him coming off this injury, especially at 28 years old, coming off that ACL. So he's going to take a huge pay cut. We know that. We know that. He was scheduled to cost $14 million against the cap. He was. I think we would have saved $8 million if we released him. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. But you know what? He's got to be taken. Yes, they would have saved. Giants would have saved $8.5 million on the cap created, but also had dead cap space number of 5.5. So again, hopefully this is a team friendly contract. Hopefully this is a deal that is going to work well for the Giants, and it must be for them to to take on that load coming with a guy coming back from an ACL after third week in the season. It's a Saquon Barkley thing, and the same thing with Barkley. I've said this before. It takes at least 2 years to come back from an ACL, depending on the severity of the injury. I came back within a year and then tore it again, and completely tore it. And I had they took part of my patella tendon and made it into an ACL. So you never know. So if it's a team-friendly deal, I don't have a problem with that. I think he is a good fit for the Giants. I still think, if we're going to go with that 3-4, he's definitely the middle linebacker. It would allow Tay Crowder to reposition himself more on the outside, because I still think Tay Crowder is a little too small to play the inside linebacker position. Also allows you to take Zio Jalari and kick him on the outside as well, and also using his versatility to put his hand in the dirt and come up to the line. So like I said, Martinez played well for us. He is what he is. He's going to make the tackles. He's not going to miss many. He's got a nose for the football. Coverage skills are going to be, the problem with him is with his coverage skills, it's either going to be good or he's not going to be good. There's really no gray area. If you take a look back at his stats in reference to cover skills, he's had 1 year where he would rank 8th in middle linebackers in reference to coverage. Then the next season, he would rank 28th. So you never know what you're going to get. It's going to be a mixed bag. But you know what? It's good to have him back in the fold for the Giants. And it just makes, it's got to be a good deal for the Giants. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting that we're going to move forward with it. So we got to wait and see what happens. So like I said, we're moving that cap in the right direction. The needle is the needle's moving in the right direction. Last thing I want to talk about is Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is not coming it's not coming to the Giants. The guy's 34 years old. He hasn't played in the league since 16. He wasn't really even playing. People remember the first couple seasons and not remember the last few. He wasn't playing well when he left the league. And they'll say, well, he's in the best. I love it. He's in the best shape of his entire life. There's a difference between being in shape and football shape. There's a huge difference. And I think some of the beat writers and some of the prognosticators and everything else don't know that because they never played. You could be, and being out of the league for 6 years, you think all of a sudden it's going to just come right back to you? Come on, guys. Please. We need to build a franchise. We don't need a distraction of a player who hasn't been in the league for 6 years to try to come back in and figure it out. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. And the Giants know they don't need that, so they're going to stay far away from that as humanly possible. Because I'm going to tell you right now, from what I'm seeing with Deshane, he is smart enough to understand what this team needs and how this team needs to be built just by the little bit that I've been watching. We've all been watching about what he's been doing with this roster just to get under the cap. I don't think we're going to hit the $40 million that he wants to get to. But I don't know if he's going to come close, but it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in free agency and what he can do in this draft. And I think those are the things that we need to look at as an organization and just kind of go from there and be grateful. And I've said it before, if this team wins 5 games, I actually said 4 games, but if this team wins 4 games, I'd be happy as a Giant fan. I would. I'd be ecstatic. Because of the fact that, like I said, they're in purgatory. They're in hell. We've said it before. The chickens at certain times are going to come home to roost, and they did. And they did big time on this organization. You know, I mean, how they got to where they are and what they're going to do are 2 different things, man. But like I said, after last season, it pretty much was.
That's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
Oh, very right. Hudson from Aliens got that right. We are in some pretty deep blank. And I said this going back. I said this during free agency last year as I was looking ahead to the cap for this year, and everyone said I was crazy. Still not getting a lot of those apologies, but everyone said I was crazy. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know football. I'm the only guy that sat in a cap meeting in the NFL. So I pretty much kind of know some things. And I can add, said it before, I own a calculator. So I could see that we were going to be in purgatory in 2022, but I was always told, don't worry about it. Well, seems like if some other people were worried about it, we probably wouldn't be in the position we are in now. But like I said, you got to have faith in Deshane. And right now, I got faith in Deshane. I got faith in the Dable. They seem to be doing everything right. They seem to be moving the needle in the right direction. So you got to kind of just kind of feel it out. Also, with Deshaun Watson now having his problems taken care of, or not taken care of, but having his he's not being pursued legally in a court of law in reference to criminal court of law, but he's still going to be pursued within civil suits. But he's not going to get suspended by the NFL for civil suits. So, and if the Texans don't need a quarterback. You know what I'm thinking. Malik Willis. Bringing Malik Willis bringing that big old boomstick to MetLife. I'm still going to push this. It's going to make this happen. We are going to make this happen. We're going to be willing for Willis. We're going to do everything we need to do to make this happen. We have to just wait and kind of see where it goes. Like I said, don't forget the big stream on Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see what we can do and what we can get out of it. And like I said, rare Saturday show here. Hope everyone enjoys. Hope if you're in the Northeast, you're staying out of the blizzard or the what was it, cyclone bomb or whatever it's called. I never know. It's snow. You know what I got to tell you about snow? It melts. It doesn't stay there forever. You don't need 50 loaves of bread and 47 gallons of milk. We don't live in Chicago. It melts. And I think that's the way we just need to end this show. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing the best in New York Giant sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you subscribe, read that book, you know what it means, that'd be awesome.